Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katarina. I film videos about project panning, cruelty-free and vegan beauty, and I'm just trying to enjoy my own makeup collection. And I love panning eyeshadows, so if you're into that, I would really love it if you subscribed. Today's video is going to be one of my favorites to film. It is going to be my monthly Pan That Palette update. I had some frustrations what comes to panning this palette this month, and I will explain it as we go, but it necessarily didn't feel like that great month of panning this palette, but now that I see all of the progress, it is really like one of the best months. So the palette I am panning is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance eyeshadow palette. Let me show you what my palette looked like a month ago. And this is what the palette is looking like right now. So as you can see, there is a lot of changes. Basically there's two new baby pans, Red Ochre and Realgar, and two of the shades are gone. So Vermeer and Buon Fresco. So my goals for this update were to hit pan on the two remaining shades, so Red Ochre and Realgar, and also finish the two shades that I was so close with, so Vermeer and Buon Fresco. And I was able to hit all of those four goals. I wasn't even sure if I could do it, but I was able to do it. I am so happy. Let's start with the new pans. So I hit pan on Red Ochre and Realgar. As you can see, they are like really small baby pans, and there is a reason for that. I do love this shade, but I don't like to use this kind of shade this time of year. They are something I usually start to wear like somewhere in July, and then I will love shades like this throughout the entire fall time. However, this time of year they are just a little bit too warm, too burnt, and not something that I would want to reach for. And that is one reason why I was a little bit frustrated panning this palette this past month, because I just don't want to use this type of shades yet this time of year. However, I really wanted to hit pan on all of these shades before I have been panning this for 6 months. I was able to do it a month early and I'm really happy about that, but at the same time I wasn't really feeling these kind of shades. And then another goal that I had was to finish Vermeer and Buon Fresco. Vermeer I wanted to finish up for the same reason than Primavera. As you can see, the pans in my palette are quite rough looking. I do not know if it is rust or what it is that is happening in the pans, but I'm not really that comfortable with those pans, and because of that I just wanted to finish these shades quickly, and Vermeer is now gone. I am really happy about that. And then I finally finished Buon Fresco. I am so happy because I really did not like this eyeshadow. I don't want to say that I hated it. At least I didn't hate it in the beginning when I started this Pan That palette and when I got this palette originally. But shades like this are something that once I start panning them, I will start hating them. Unfortunately, I have experienced this before with similar shades. In 2018 and in early 2019 I was panning the original BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette, and there's two plums there, one lighter one and then one deeper one, and I struggled with them so much. Those shades I think were not quite as ashy as Buon Fresco. Maybe they had like a little bit more warmth to them, but still they were so out of my comfort zone. I do like plummy looks once in a while. When I start panning them, it's just too often for me. So because of that, I don't think I want to put myself through panning a plum or a dusty pink shade or anything like that anymore in the future. I'm so happy that Buon Fresco is gone. I mean, to see that empty pan is so rewarding, but at the same time it took quite many bad makeup days when I would look myself in a mirror and think that I want to wash my makeup off because I do not like that eyeshadow. So I just don't want to pan like that. I mean, I'm always someone who talks about not hate panning, but still sometimes I find myself doing it. but I really don't want to do it because I don't think it's worth it, at least usually. I think maybe in this case if I am able to finish the entire palette, but not anymore after this palette. I'm almost starting to feel like this is not a complete palette anymore. I cannot really create looks using only this palette, because I'm starting to be out of lighter shades. I'm already out of my deeper matte brown that I like to use in my outer corner. I'm out of my highlight shade. I'm out of my lid shades. And well, these three over here, if I really focused on them, they would probably be gone in a couple of months because this formula is really powdery. The pans are not big, but I'm not going to focus on them at least yet in June. But the point is that it's really not a complete palette to me anymore, and it's almost starting to be more like a compliment palette. And unfortunately, I think that for the next couple of months the updates might be a little bit boring, because I have already hit pan on all of the shades. I cannot hit more pans, and then as I said, I'm not going to focus on finishing these shades right now, and with the other shades I am so far away from finishing them. So I think I can see some visual progress during the next couple of months, but nothing that significant than so far this year in every update. So because of that, I actually want to start tallying my monthly uses for each of these shades. I do have now this piece of paper in the back of the palette where I have written all of the shade names, and I will tally my uses. The reason I haven't been tallying my uses for my panning projects in the past is that I tend to forget about it, but I think it helps now that I do have the paper here, so it's easier to, you know, mark my use here than into a separate notebook, although I do tally my uses into notebook for my project 10 uses, but I don't use those products like every single day. I think that is right now the best way for me to track my progress, and I always love to hear when other people have tallied their uses, that how many times they used each shade every month. And then let's talk about my goals for the next month. To be honest, I have only one focus shade for next month, and it's going to be my least favorite shade that is now left in the palette after Blue and Fresco is gone. I don't know why I always make it so miserable for myself that I choose to focus on my least favorite shade. Maybe it is because I know that if I don't push myself to use those shades, I'm not going to use them. And then I will not be able to reach my goal of finishing this palette. And to be honest, I think this is the last palette in my life that I really want to finish completely, or at least in the near future, like within the next 5 years or so. Because in every palette there is always something that is not working for me quite perfectly, and I also want to be able to rotate through my collection a little bit more freely, but I do still love that palette, but maybe this is the last palette that I will finish completely. So I will be focusing on my least favorite shade in June, and it is Love Letter over here. So this is like a matte berry or pinky shade, and it's quite bold. It's definitely a colorful shade. I think this eyeshadow is going to be the toughest one from this palette for me to use up. I think I will have better luck with Venetian Red. It has a little bit warmer undertones to it. And then Red Ochre and Real Gar, they are something I really do love in fall time. Even though Real Gar, I will say it's kind of like a little bit hard to blend out. I don't think it has been always like that. I think the palette is really expiring. But yeah, still Real Gar and Red Ochre are easier colors for me to wear than Pinky Berries. But Love Letter is going to be my focus shade for June, and my goal is to use it for 15 times. That is going to be quite much. It's like every another day until the next update that I need to be wearing Love Letter, but you know, I think it should be okay. Like, I am just at home at the moment, so I can do all crazy looks that I want to. I will probably do just like pinky berry looks, and then some more sunsetty looks. Those look really beautiful from this palette. And then also I will probably do some looks that are neutral, and I will just try to incorporate this shade into the look. And I will try to get better at taking pictures of my look. So I think in the next update I want to share with you some pictures that I have done using Love Letter. And I will challenge myself to use it different ways. And another goal that I do have for Love Letter is to hit side pan on the right side of the pan. I think if I use it 15 times and if I concentrate my brushed hair, I might be able to do that. Let's hope so. So that is what my palette is looking like right now. I'm really happy about my progress, even though it was kind of like a little bit harder month, but I think it was really rewarding still to see all of that progress. My next video is going to be my Panning Solitaire update. If you want to see how I did with those eyeshadows that I have in there, stay tuned, because I do have some really nice progress and I will be bringing in some new shades to that project. But that was everything for today. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye bye.